The sermon is, the greatest of these is charity. And charity is another word for love. Love. So the greatest of these is charity.
Amen.
See, love does a whole lot. Love builds up. Love is constructive. There's good things that come from love.
Preach, Bishop.
Good things that come from love. Life comes from love when you think about it.
Amen.
Right? Love is, good things come from love. But when you don't have love, hate comes in, and hate can destroy. Love builds up and makes alive. Hate destroys and kills. So love, we're talking about love here. So what can love do? Love can build a nation. Love can build a nation. That means that there could be people like where jobs, they're sharing their resources. People are just building up a nation. They're coming together as people. But hatred can destroy a nation. You have this group of people against this group of people. You have this group hating this group. You have these people working in this direction. You have opposition. You can even see that even in politics, to where when one president doesn't have control of Congress, he has a hard time getting things passed, to where certain things won't go through. We won't work together. So whenever you have hatred as a country, we don't move forward as a country. But when we have love and we move, we can move forward. We can have a better nation. Love builds up. Love makes alive. Love gives life. Love will allow you to be happy for someone. Love will allow you to be happy for somebody else's success. You don't understand me. Love will allow you to be happy for somebody else's success. Because we know that there's people out there, if they don't have the love in their heart, if they're not focused on love, if they don't have the love of Christ in them, they will actually be envious of your success and will be jealous of you and will have ill feelings towards the blessings that you have been received. So love will allow you to share in somebody else's success. It will allow you to share in somebody else's success. So what we have to do is we got to make sure that we're showing love. So we're not being envious. We're not being jealous of someone. But we could be enjoying the success of others. Love. We're talking about love. Talking about love here. Love will allow you to be cooperative and supportive. Love will allow you to be cooperative and supportive. But hate will allow you to work against people. Will allow you to work against people. Quite the opposite. Love will allow you to work together and be cooperative and supportive to where you can get things done. Hatred will allow you to work against and try to sabotage the situation. So what we got to realize is this. We got to show love in our heart. We have to show a lot of love in our heart. Because with love, we can move forward. We can move forward as a people. We can move forward as a family. We can move forward as a country with love. We can move forward as a church with love. Because sometimes in the church there's hate. Even in the church. I just was not too long ago, First Lady was telling me about, it was a person that came into the church, two people. One person must have obviously sat in another person's seat. Sat in another person's seat in church. Now, how do you think that should be handled in church? Oh, okay, well, oh, this is your seat? Oh, okay, thank you. Or the other person just went to another seat. But listen how this played out in the church. They got into a big argument. And the one guy pulled out a gun and shot the other in church. In church. Are you kidding me? How could that ever be in church? Where was the love at in church? We're talking about in church. We're not talking about at some kind of bar or saloon. We're talking about in church. We're talking about in church. And I'm like, who in the world goes to church with a gun in the first place? You know what I mean? But that just that's certainly, so even in the church, when you have love in the church can move forward. That means when something needs to be done, something needs to be fixed. People aren't saying, oh, you know what, I don't got time to do that. I'm not doing that. So, you know what, I got my own stuff to do. But when love's going on in the church, you'll be glad to lend your time and your effort, right, to go do something because you have love reigning and it's going to spill out and it's going to show out in the church. And whenever you have people in the church that's showing that love, you'll see it because things will look like it's getting done. Things that need to be repaired are getting done. More programs are coming into the church because people, and what did it say? You know, because the people had a mind to work. Because the people had a mind to work. Right? Talking about in Jeremiah, they built up the wall. Because the people had a mind to work. But without that, when everybody's just doing their own thing and selfish and not letting the love show forth, doing their own thing and after their own agenda, you don't see that happening. But let love shine forth and watch what you see that goes on in the church. Watch how beautiful the church looks, inside and outside. Watch how many programs you see actually happening. Watch how many more people you actually see in the seats. You want to know why that? Because they're going to be drawn by your love. They're going to be drawn by your love. You're going to be inviting them. You're not going to be saying, oh, well, I don't know, I'm not going to invite. You're going to want to invite them because you're going to want them to have what you have. Because that's love. You understand me? You're going to have that love. So love will even build a church. But hatred can cause a lot of problems. Right? Can cause a lot of problems. Love will allow you to be understanding. Right? Love will allow you to be understanding. When you have love in your heart, you can have understanding. You can try to look at it from another person's standpoint or from another viewpoint. When you have love in your heart, you can begin to try to look at it from a different angle. But when you have hatred in your heart, it's going to allow for you to be critical and judgmental in situations. But love will allow you to be understanding. Say, I don't necessarily agree with what you... Understanding and agreement is two different things. You understand me? You understand what I'm talking about? Understanding and disagreeing and agreeing is two different things. I can understand why you did what you did, but I don't agree with you with the way what you did. Right? So, but love will allow us to be understanding. Because when you can understand somebody, then you can begin to try to correct some things. But if I don't understand you, then I can't correct anything. We can't be on common ground. That's like saying if you're speaking a different language to me, and I don't understand it, I can't communicate with you. But whenever I can understand what you're saying, then I can communicate and we can move forward. So understanding is important. So with love, when we have love, we can be more understanding and less critical. And less critical of people. Not always criticizing, right? Because they're not quite doing it the way we did it. They might have a reason for doing it that way. We may not agree with it. It may be the wrong way. It may be the wrong reason. But people have a reason for doing the things that they do, right? But we need to be understanding sometimes. The thing about it is when you love, when you truly love, it will show. Love will show. The love will show forth when you love. It will show up in what you do and what you say. Is when you love. When you truly love, it'll show up in what you do and what you say when you love. And that's one of the reasons that I think that when we dig into these scriptures, you're going to see how much Jesus loved and how much he requires of us to love. And there's something with that. You know what I mean? You just can't say it with your mouth. You got to say it in action. You got to say it with your mouth and action. You got to show that out. People say that they love somebody, but they don't want to spend time with someone. They don't want to go the extra distance for someone. If it runs them, if it's going to inconvenience them, they don't feel the love at that point in time. They don't feel it. But when you love someone, you will be inconvenienced sometimes. You will go the extra distance sometimes. It's just not going to be in words. It's going to be in action. Right? Even the word of God, we know that it takes actions. Show me faith without works. Right? Faith without works is dead. Faith without works is dead. So we know that it takes action, not just saying things. It's easy to speak. There's a saying, actions speak louder than words. I'd rather for you to show me. Show me. You can say it, but as long as you show it. Don't say it without showing it. Show me. So, actions speak louder than words. Show me. Right? Show me. Show me the love. Because in your love, there should be a manifestation of that. When you love something, it should be obvious. Right? There's a difference between love and hate. And that's based off of what you do. Right? That's based off of what you do. When you're loving, you're supportive, you're kind, you're considerate, you're giving. When you hate, you know, you're stingy, you're not considerate, you're not cooperating. There's a difference. And sometimes we say that we love, but we're actually showing the actions of hate. We're actually showing the actions of hate. Our words and our actions need to line up. They need to be together. So when you say that you love, it should be something that shows forth you love. Don't just speak it in words. Don't just speak it in words. Speak it in action. What have you done to show that you love? What have you done to show that you have loved? Let's go ahead and dig into the Word of God. We're going to look into 2 Corinthians chapter 8, verse 24. Wherefore show ye to them and before the churches the proof of your love. Did you hear that? The proof of your love. Wow. That means there should be some evidence of that, huh? There should be some evidence of your love. Right? Let's go back to that. Let's read it again. Wherefore show ye forth to them and before the churches the proof of your love. The proof of your love. And of our boasting on your behalf. So there should be some proof that you love. Somebody has a need, you minister to that need. Somebody needs comforted, you show that. No wonder why the Bible says, weep with those who weep. Rejoice with those who rejoice. It is better to give than to receive. Them are actions of love, wouldn't you think? Them are actions of love. So it says, wherefore show ye to them and before the churches the proof of your love. Of your love. Where's the proof of your love at? You say you love, you're supposed to love, but where's the proof of your love? Where's the proof of your love? So we need to be more than just talk. There needs to be some evidence behind it. There needs to be some proof behind it. Somebody should see, somebody should feel. If you say that you love someone and if they don't feel it, then you're not showing it enough. Everybody understand that? Don't get defensive. Don't get defensive. Don't get defensive saying, oh, what you mean you don't know I love you? I did not do this, that, and the other for you. Well, you might have did this, that, and the other, but you didn't do this and this and this. You understand me? I'm telling you, if I tell you, don't come at me and say, what you mean all that? It means you got some more work to do. You got some more work. So don't get defensive. Some people like to get defensive. They should know I love them. Look at all what I do for them. Well, obviously you're not doing enough. You're not doing enough because somebody should know that you love them. And they should feel that love. Right? So what I want you to understand is that our love should show forth. It should come out. It should be radiated. It should be obvious to everyone that's in contact that we say that we love. So let's make sure that we have the proof of our love. Now listen to this. Jesus loves God loves so much. See, no wonder why he requires of us. No wonder why what he requires of us. Because he loves. He loves. He loves, and he showed it in his action. He showed it in his action. Because John 15, St. John 15 and verse 13. Greater love have no man than this, that a man lay down his life for his friends. You understand me? He showed love. God is love. So he showed love. God showed that love where he came down in the form of Jesus, in flesh, and laid down his life. Right? No greater love have no man than this. So whenever he asks you something, right, we get all upset. We get all upset over certain things that he asked us. Oh, why do I got to go to church today? Why do I got to do that? Did you lay down your life? He gave better. He gave him. Look at how much he loved you. And you talk about you can't go to church? You can't be obedient to his word? He laid down his life. He showed you. How much love did he show you? So you can't show him some love? You can't show him love? Look how much love he showed you. He showed a lot of love. So no wonder. Now listen to this. John 14. St. John chapter 14 and verse 21. He that hath my commandments and keepeth them. Let me read that again. He that hath my commandments and keepeth them, he it is that loveth me. You understand that? He it is that loveth me. Do you all understand that? Amen. He that is that loveth me. That's just like when people tell you, oh, you don't love me because if you love me, you be doing this, that, and the other. He's telling you that if you love him, you're keeping his commandments. Because that's what you would do. That's what he requires. So we have to show that love towards the Lord. He that hath my commandments and keepeth them, he it is that loveth me. He it is that loveth me. And he that loveth me shall be loved of my Father. And I will love him and will manifest myself to him. Do you see why I said, do you understand? Let's pay attention. Do you understand why I said that if you truly love, there will be a change in your life. There will be a change in your life if you truly love. Do you understand? All right, are you all, come on now. Are you all with me? Amen. If you love, I'm going to read that verse again because I don't know if you are really getting it. You say that you want things, you want to be blessed, you want to feel that God is with you, but if you want to feel that he's with you, listen to this verse here. He that hath my commandments and keepeth them, he it is that loveth me. And he that loveth me shall be loved of my Father. And I will love him and will manifest myself to him. Will manifest myself to him. So that's what we have to do. We got to make sure, are we showing love? We say that we love, but are we showing love? Because God requires something. In order for us to get the benefits that he has for us, we have to love him the way that he tells us he wants to be loved. Not necessarily the way that not necessarily just the way we want him to love us. You understand me? Not necessarily just the way we want to love him. The way you want to love him is something completely different than the way that he wants to be loved. Some people have their own understanding of how they want to serve the Lord and how they want to show their love to him. But he's telling us what he wants us to do. This is how he wants to be loved. We're going to stay in the same chapter. We're going to go down to verse 23. Jesus answered and said unto him, if a man love me, he will keep my words. he will keep my words. And my Father will love him, and we will come unto him and make our abode with him. I'm telling you, if you love God, if you show that love to God, if you show that love to the Lord Jesus Christ, if you show that love, there will be a difference in your life. There will be a difference in your life. There will be a difference in your life. Do you understand me? There will be a difference in your life.
Amen.
So we got to show that love. We got to show that love. Show it out. See now, when we love God and we do his commandments, you want to know something? When we do God's commandments, we are going to be able to love one another. Because you can't love God without showing your love to one another. You can't say I love God without showing love one towards another. Right? He said, how can you love God who you haven't seen and hate your brother who you have seen? We just can't do that. Right? So we love God. If we love God, it's going to be, or that love is going to be outward towards everyone else as well. And let's look at that. Let's look at it, for example. Let's look at Ephesians. Ephesians 5 and 2. And walk in love. And walk in love as Christ also have loved us and have given himself for us an offering and a sacrifice to God for a sweet smelling Savior. Walk in love. Walk in love. Now, how do we walk in love? We're going to talk about that here in a little bit. Walk in love as Christ also have loved us. And get this part. See, there's going to be a manifestation. There's going to be some evidence. There's going to be some proof. You can look at the next part of that. And have given himself for us. So, you understand me? So, when you love, it's going to be some showing. It's going to be some showing. Not just in your words. But it's going to be some love. It's going to be some showing. Let's look at 1 Corinthians. Chapter 13, verses 4 through 7. It's going to tell us how to love. It's going to tell us what love isn't. And then it's going to tell us how to love. First of all, it's going to tell us what love isn't. It's going to use the word charity. But charity is love. Charity is suffereth. Listen to this. It's going to tell us some things that love is and some things that love isn't. Charity suffereth long. So love suffereth long. It's not easily fizzled out. You understand me? Oh, I can't believe what she said. Oh, I can't believe what he did. I can't believe this. I can't believe that. I'm done. I'm done. I'm done. I'm done. Love suffereth long. Right? Say, you know what? Oh, man. I can't believe that pastor, man. He's talking on what I do. He's talking on what I do. I ain't going there again. I'm not going there no more. Charity suffereth long. Charity suffereth long. And get this. It suffereth long and is kind. So that means somebody can do something and you can bear with them. And you don't have to grin and frown, but you can be kind. Just teach you how to love. It suffers long and is kind. Not evil, not short-tempered, but kind. Look at somebody, say kind.
Kind.
Love is kind. Kind. Not hatred, but kind. Kind. Love. Charity envieth not. It envieth not. Right? That don't mean that I don't have to envy what you do. I can be glad about what you do. Remember I mentioned that not too long ago. I can be happy for you. I don't have to be upset and say, oh man, why not me? I can celebrate with you. I can enjoy your success. Right? I can enjoy that. I don't have to be envious. I don't have to be jealous. I don't have to be upset about your blessing. I can celebrate with you and enjoy that with you. But there's lots of people, even so-called friends, when you start to get blessed, man, they start to get jealous and envious. They don't got the love in their heart. Don't got the love in their heart. So what we have to do is we got to make sure that we don't become envious. Charity vaunteth not itself. Charity vaunteth not itself. Right? You don't have to be all puffed up. Right? We're going to talk about that in a little bit too. Right? You don't have to broadcast yourself. Right? You don't have to broadcast yourself. It's not puffed up. You don't have to be all big, be all big and everything and puff yourself all up and be a real big person and everybody else smaller than you. Right? Everybody else don't have to be big. You don't have to be bigger than everybody else. Right? Because that's not love. Because when you love someone, you want to know what you do? You want them to be just as good as you. Right? Am I right?
Amen.
Come on, let me hear something. If you love somebody, you want them to be just as good as you, right? Or better.
Amen.
So you don't have to go around and be all puffed up to where you're like some kind of God, looking how much better I am than everybody else. Your job should be to try to get everybody else to your level. That shows how truly great you are. If you can take somebody down there and bring them to where you are. Right?
Amen.
That's greatness. That's great. Does not behave itself unseemly. Wow, there's a lot to go into that one, isn't it? Does not behave itself unseemly. Right? So that means that there's a time and a place for things. You don't have to be yelling. You know, if you're upset with somebody that you're supposed to love, you don't have to be yelling. You don't have to put them down. You don't have to call them names. You don't have to call them outside their name. You don't have to do any of that stuff because that's not love. It said love behaveth itself not unseemly, right? Let me read that, okay? Does not behave itself unseemly. It doesn't do that. So that means if you love me, you're not going to yell at me. You may be a little bit upset, but right, remember, let's go back to Ephesians 4:26. Right? It says, be angry, sin not. So you could be angry and not go sinning on me and not acting all belligerent and out of the way. Right? So that means that you don't have to be yelling at me. You don't have to call me outside my name. You don't have to withhold any good from me. You don't have to say, you know what, you did this, so I'm not going to do this for you. That's not love. That's not love. If you love me, you're not going to behave yourself unseemly. You're going to still try to do good for me. Yeah, you're going to let me know that you don't agree with what I'm doing. You don't like what I'm doing. You're not happy with what I'm doing. But if you love me, it says love, what did it say? Let's go back to the beginning part. It says, charity suffereth long, and is kind. So that means that you're not going to act in an unkind way towards me. Everybody hear this?
Yeah.
You're not going to act in an unkind way towards me. You're not going to act in an unkind way towards me. You're going to be kind still to me. So you're not going to withhold, say, oh yeah, you know what? Yeah, you know what you did, so I'm not doing this for you. That's not kind. That's not suffering long. You understand me? So we got to show the love the right way. This is why so many people, when they get married, you want to know something? So many people, when they get married, they need to hear this.
Yeah.
They need to hear this. Oh, she done did something. Oh, she did something I didn't like.
Yeah.
I'm getting divorced. What's wrong with you? Charity suffered long. Didn't you love that lady when you stood before that preacher, that minister, and before God, and you said, I do? Do you promise to keep yourself to her and only her, and you know, as long as you shall live, until death do you part?
Preach, Bishop.
It says charity suffereth long and is kind. They forget that part, don't they?
Amen.
They forget that. You got to suffer along. Right? Even though you know you're right sometimes. Right? Even when you know you're right sometimes. Right? You may still have to suffer along. You still may have to suffer along. You still may just have to say, oh well, okay. You know, and just keep on going on. And just keep on going with it. Right? Because charity suffereth long. And it's kind. Right? So I want you all to understand that. So you don't, but let's go on with the rest of that. Does not behave itself unseemly. Seeketh not her own. So this doesn't mean that you're just taking care of your own, but you're also, take care of your own first. We understand that. Charity begins at home. But you're going to also be looking to bless others too. Right? You're going to say, okay, well, me and my family, we're taking care, we got ours, we're good, we're okay. Well, now it's time for you to look and see who else is not okay. Right? So that means that if it was a big disaster going on, you got your family all secure and everything, you made sure that the house is all boarded up, you might want to run to the neighbor. Hey, is there anything that you need? You don't just seek after your own, but you look after other people too. Right? So we got to do that. It is not easily provoked. Sometimes people say, you know what? I don't bite my tongue. Well, maybe you should. Maybe you should. Right? I just say what I want to say. Well, maybe you shouldn't. I'm not going to take that. Not, you shouldn't. And not no maybe. You shouldn't say everything that you want to say. Because sometimes, listen to this. It's not so much what's up here. Right? Because sometimes we got to harness that. We got to harness what we feel. Because the Bible said it's not so much what goes into the man with the fouleth him. It's what cometh out of the man with the fouleth the man. So you should watch, because what comes out of you may defile you. What you're saying may defile you. Right? So yeah, people say, oh, well, you know what? Well, it says it's not easily provoked. Learn how to take something sometimes. Learn how that to be, and you want to know how not to easily be provoked? Being a little bit more humble. Being more humble.
That's it. Preach.
You understand me? Being more humble. Don't think of yourself more than what you are, what you're supposed to be, or what you think you are. Be more humble. So that's what we got to do. We got to learn how. So, and then listen to this. Oh my. Woo. Oh, I just know that she thinks she's something. Oh, you know what? Oh man, I know that they were. I know that's the way that they were thinking. You know what? They just, why? They are up to no good, and I know they're up to no good. Let's read this next verse. Thinketh no evil. You're not supposed to think evil, right? Don't think evil. Think good. Why waste your time on thinking evil? So what if they were doing that? Pray about it. Don't speak evil of it. Right? Don't speak evil of it. Speaketh, thinketh no evil. Thinketh no evil. Now listen to this. Rejoiceth not in iniquity. Do you know that there's some people who have great joy? Are you listening? Come on now. Come on. Do you know that there's people who have great joy in other people's sorrow? I mean, that they really get a kick out of somebody else's sorrow. You understand me? Oh yeah, I guess they don't think they're a big shot now, do they? You know what I mean? There are people who really enjoy it, really have rejoiced in that. We're not supposed to rejoice in that. You understand me? That's not supposed to be what we're about. But we're supposed to rejoice. We're supposed to rejoice in truth. Rejoice in truth. Beareth all things. Believeth all things. Hopeth all things. Endureth all things. That's what love is about. That one song, I want you to forget that one song. I listen to gospel music now, but I didn't always listen to gospel music. But that one song, I want you to forget about that one song. What's love got to do with it? Love got everything to do with it. You understand me? Love has everything to do with it. Everything to do with it. So, and we're going to love, and we're going to love Jesus, and we're going to truly love him, we're going to truly love Jesus, that means that we are going to, it's going to show out in our lives. You understand me? It's going to show. When we love Jesus, it's going to show, and our lives are going to be changed. It's going to truly, truly be changed.